welcome to another episode of the Chrissie Mayr podcast. We are on iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, and SoundCloud. And if you're listening to us on iTunes right now, please leave a 5-star review. Guys, I'm so excited to let you know that I have a bunch of comedy shows coming up. If you're in the New Jersey area at all, I better see you this Saturday in Morris Plains at Tiff's, aka the Dojo East. Tiff's Ale House. I'll be there this Saturday. Come check it out. Then I'll be heading to the Orlando MegaCon to hang with the nerds at the Simpcast Live panel. That'll be 6 o'clock on Saturday, May 21st. Then I'll be headlining in St. Louis Wednesday, May 25th. Sounds like a man, St. Louis. I like he's a saint. I don't know. Helium Comedy Club, Wednesday, May 25th. Then I'll be in Illinois at the Vixen in McHenry, Friday, May 27th with Crip Daddy. So if you're a fan of Crip Daddy, check that out. Then we're doing 2 Simpcast Live shows in Chicago. Wish us luck going to Chicago for 2 shows on Saturday, May 28th at Reggie's in Chicago. Then I'm working on a few more dates for the summer, but for sure, come September, I'll be headlining in Austin at the Cap City Comedy Club Thursday, September 8th. Then back to Philly for the Helium Comedy Club on Wednesday, September 14th. For tickets, go to chrissiemayr.com. Please and thank you. Yes, we were late and gay and unbreaded. I want to give a shout out to the new member. Our new member, GJJ. Gosh darn it, I'm going to find out what those initials stand for. That's my goal. You can't hide from me. I'm going to say Gary John Johnson. So there. Okay, guys. I talked about the dates. My t-shirts are available at flagranttriggers.com. If you're still looking to piss off your friend who supports Ukraine but doesn't know why, you too can get a Rootin' for Putin shirt at flagranttriggers.com to upset your friend who supports Ukraine for no reason. Or you can get a Mayor shirt, which is classic and reminds us all of the Obama era, which was a problem-free time. Go to flagranttriggers.com. $27 includes shipping in there, and they're super soft. Unlike this next guest's penis. No, there was no way to segue into that there. So excited to have this guy back to talk about another hot trial. He's here. He's unbreaded. One of my favorite internet lawyers, internet a-holes, Rekieta Law. Nick Rekieta's here. Welcome. How are you?
Hey, I'm great, Chrissy. Thanks for having me back.
Thank you for clicking on the link and being here.
I clicked on the link in the description and I just showed up. I don't know. Is this how I like and subscribe?
This is already going so much better than the last time you were here when you shared the StreamYard link and literally anyone could join the show.
Well, look, I am an agent of chaos and chaos came with me that day. But today I've already spread my seed of chaos all over from my erect penis.
In a Kleenex? Where?
No, on Destiny's channel, actually.
Oh.
I was involved in a debate about the Roe versus Wade leak, which was just a blast. It was like a liberal lawyer bukkake, and I was the recipient. It was gross.
So you were debating whether or not it was leaked?
No, we were debating whether or not the opinion, I guess, is correct, whether they should overturn or whether they legally should overturn Roe versus Wade, whether that's constitutional, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
I heard somewhere that this Roe chick was lying about having an abortion, or she was lied about being raped. She lied somewhere, and it's like she got caught with her hand in the cookie jar, except they made legislation around it.
Yeah, Norma McCorvey came out later. Roe was originally about a story of a gang rape, right? That was the justification for her abortion. She came out later and said that was false.
I heard that they were originally going to call it Rose before Hose.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. Actually, that was in Blackmun's decision originally when the first draft was leaked, like Alito's first draft was leaked. They're like, I don't know if Rose before Hose is the proper language for a Supreme Court justice. And he's like, I guess, fucking pussies.
But technically, they want to put hoes before Rose because now it's like it doesn't even matter. It's like I feel like the hoes have it. The hoes are very much out in the streets right now. They're upset. They don't know why, but they're heading directly to the craft store to buy poster board and markers.
Well, the funny thing is, since Hobby Lobby is like holy ground consecrated by God, most of them walking in there will die immediately. Like
Imagine the
Ananias.
conflict. You're like, I need craft supplies, but I can't go into Hobby Lobby. Just like I freaking love chicken sandwiches, but there's a Chick-fil-A right there. What do you
Yep.
do?
You have to walk in, have your skin peel off, or you just have to wait until you can get to a different place. But no,
Was
this is a crazy sort of story. And yeah, hose mad is one way that would properly explain what's going on. And I love it. Like, I just find it hilarious. I never thought they would overturn it, not in a million years. And now it looks like they're going to. It's so
Do
funny.
you think this is something that was slowly building behind the scenes? Because I haven't heard anybody really talk about Roe v. Wade. Like, mention it. I've heard it, people in casual rees, like the same old chick that is talking about abortion, like, but I never heard it brought up in a meaningful way. I don't know, in 20 years or something.
Well, it comes up at any time a Supreme Court justice is going to be confirmed, right? At the confirmation hearings. It came up a lot during Amy Coney Barrett's confirmation hearing because there were going to be 5 potential conservative justices versus 3 liberals and 1 John Roberts, who's a weirdo. And so they were like, wait, if she gets confirmed, there's a very real chance that these guys will ideologically choose it. So it got brought up, but
Why? Is it because they look at Amy Coney Barrett and they go, look, she kept all those kids. We know where she stands.
she's a Catholic, a devout Catholic, has like 9 kids or something like that. I think some of them are adopted, but either way, and she has opinions that have been critical of, I believe, some of the reasoning of Roe. But the defense for every justice is we can't comment on a hypothetical case, only on a case that exists, and this case didn't exist at the time. So now they cannot process the fact that some justices came to the conclusion that Roe versus Wade was wrongly decided. And one of the interesting things to remind people of is that Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who is by no means like a pro-life advocate, had also determined that Roe versus Wade was improperly decided. Whether or not the outcome and effect were desirable for people, Roe was a disaster of a decision for a whole bunch of reasons. But we're not here to discuss this, so I don't want to
It's
get too much
interesting,
into it.
though.
But
It's just interesting. It feels like the powers that be know what to do to set off the masses, and I'm like, oh, this just looks like I was talking about this with the chicks on the right earlier today. It's like they know that they suck. They know that people will get up off their ass if they think their precious abortions are being threatened.
oh yeah.
It just feels like they're playing these people.
Yeah, that's all, that's a popular sort of theory with a lot of these things that are highly divisive issues in the country. And I mean, look at what the progression has been, right? We had COVID and mask mandates, and then that evolved into Ukraine. And we seem to have like an exact same breakdown of sort of the ideas about Ukraine as we had about COVID and masks. And now we're moving into this abortion thing. And, we're going to forget the Ukraine situation entirely within a couple days of rioting. Once that decision officially comes out, it'll be really a monster of a mess. And it always seems to be that there is something to have American people divided against themselves. And if you ascribe to the idea that subscribe to the idea that there is that there are power brokers in Washington who are afraid of a united populace, as they probably should be, then then the timing of all this stuff doesn't ever surprise anyone.
And summer is a great time for protests. Like I know summer of 2020 was summer of love. Maybe this will be
Yes.
the summer of hangers. Who knows?
Yeah. Coat hangers are going to be the new like hand sanitizer of 2020.
Always
It's like,
a coat hanger with these people. It's like, first of all, like everyone knows it's the dry cleaning hangers. You know what I mean? Like a coat hanger.
yeah,
I
you
don't
got to
know.
get those wire ones that you can definitely unwind. And you got to use the spirally tip too. Like, you don't want the hook. That's weird. You got to use the spirally tip for the good jabbing.
Yeah, I always put a worm on the end of mine, and that helps to sort of
lure the baby in.
I assume the baby will bite down on the worm, and then I'll feel a tug, and then I just pull it out.
Yeah, that's a good method. I've not tried that. The next time I'm pregnant, though, I will definitely. I'll shove a coat hanger into my uterus.
Oh, fortunately, I've never had to make that decision. I've never been faced with that, and thank God, because I was definitely an idiot in my 20s singing the whole feminism pro-choice song, and I think you get I can see now why that appealed to me so much, because when you're young, it's just anything to protect your freedom and your potential, and then as you get older, you realize the value in your life comes from the responsibilities that you take on and uphold.
Yeah, I mean, it's the problem that I have with a lot of the debate is the rhetoric around it, because there are places for discussions about whether this is proper or not, but those discussions went away about 15 years ago when we started having like the shout your abortion movement and the glorification of this. And then people started, and I think you asked if there was like a slow build to this. And I think in the culture, there has been a boiling up of this sort of sentiment because of things like women going from abortion being this like reluctant decision that is heavy and weighty to being out there like, my abortion was great, I'm gonna get another one tomorrow. And it's like, wait, this is weird. Like, we've glorified and trivialized life so much on this topic that we're not okay. And I mean, hell, the people I was debating today all basically, like, it took some doing to get to the idea that a fetus was at some level life at all. Like, they didn't want to.
Really? Like, even with a heartbeat, they still needed convincing?
And it's like, it's like, I mean, okay, can we at least be honest, like, that if this were not inside of a woman's body and it were anywhere else, we would determine this to be not only life, but highly sophisticated life. And
right. If it was crawling up out of a beach in prehistoric times, you'd be like, come here, little guy, I'm going to take you.
If we found anything like it on some other planet or moon, right, it would be the biggest news to hit the scientific community maybe ever. But for whatever it is with this particular discussion, like, people are unwilling to have that because it makes us uncomfortable. Then, like, if it's life, well, then what kind of life is it? Well, it's not going to be an aardvark, right? It's not going to be like a cow. We know, well, unless it's Tess Holliday's kid, but it's not going to be something other than a person that will come out. And so then we have to be comfortable with killing a person. And some people, to their credit, will have the discussion be fully open that they're comfortable. And they say, okay, there's just a necessary time. And at least then you can talk because you've got some foundational definitions. But when you've got people who are unwilling to accept that it's even life from jump, it's like, oh, okay, well, what else is it going to be? Like, what's the other option here?
I think there's a fair amount of like women who will terminate their pregnancy because they have to take care of other family members, or they think it'll conflict with work. It's like, you're making these lifelong decisions based on snapshots. And it's like, okay, in this snapshot in time, you think you won't be a good mom, or you don't think you make enough money, but you're kind of robbing yourself and the kid of the potential. It's like, okay, maybe this is the catalyst you need to be able to provide for it. I don't know. Again, It's like, you don't know unless you're in the situation, but I'm leaning more pro-life these days.
And for me, I've always been pro-life, but I am at my core, I'm a states' rights guy. And I think that this is an issue that's just left for the states. And the ultimate reality is that if Roe is indeed overturned, it looks like it will be, but it hasn't been yet. If it is overturned, abortion is still legal everywhere that abortion is legal. And then states have to pass laws restricting abortion at that point in time. And guess what? We're going to have a brand new Roe case. It's going to come up. It's going to go right up to the Supreme Court. And then they will have the opportunity to decide whether or not abortion is legal or protected under a completely different set of legal reasoning. And they may come to the conclusion that it is. They may come to the conclusion that it is an inherent right, and they may not like the way Roe was decided, but they could determine the ultimate outcome to be the same, and we won't know until it happens.
So it sounds like you're saying is new Roe, who dis?
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Why aren't the protesters that are hanging out outside the houses of these justices? How come they're not being arrested?
There's a strong desire to respect the right to peaceably assemble, so long as they're doing so on public property, which would be a street or a sidewalk of some sort, or if they have permission to be on private property nearby, which is always possible. Although if that's your neighbor, you should shoot him. As a Supreme Court justice, if your neighbor's like, yeah, protesters, come over here, Alito's a dick, like he should kill that guy. But and so long as they are peaceful, they are allowed to speak into the government. Now, there are provisions of law that state that it is illegal to attempt to intimidate or influence a justice's decision. And that includes protesting outside of their homes. So it gets really hairy, but I think even the justices would choose to, so long as they are safe, err on the side of protecting free speech. If we got it, like I think Chief Justice John Roberts is one of the worst justices on the bench right now. However, because mainly I don't think he has very many principles, not because he's not smart or anything like that. But one thing he has been strong on, and his court has been strong on consistently, is protection of speech. And so I think all of the justices would agree that people should have maximized amount of speeches, especially in light of the fact that they're government officials and they have to live in the reality of their decisions having impact on people's lives. So to their credit, I think that the justices are happy to let them speak so long as they feel safe.
So what would it take to see from these people for them to be arrested? Like they have to throw a brick through a window, or somebody bleeds on a driveway or something?
If they throw a brick through a window, like, the crowd should be dispersed immediately. A Molotov cocktail, some sort of I would even go so far as to say any interference with the private property itself, like graffiti or anything like that, blood or paint being thrown from the streets, anything like that, where a trespass upon the property of the justices occurs, then it should be at that point. I don't know that you make an arrest and conviction, but that's the point when you disperse the crowd, because that's where, it's that flashpoint. And anyone, there'll probably be some people on the left who disagree with that, but that flashpoint is the Capitol, right? The storming of the Capitol is that once that door is opened and people start going in, suddenly the situation becomes less manageable for law enforcement. And so that's when safety becomes an issue, because groupthink gets very, very dangerous very, very quickly.
I'm just imagining some of these feminist women taking their diva cups out and throwing the contents at a mailbox or something. Just kind of flinging it out. like a martini during Prohibition.
Yes. Spray your diaphragm or whatever. God.
I'm gonna get to a couple of these super chats from Anthony Curtis. Thanks to Chrissy, I was able to get my wife the gold dipped rose for the I Hate Steven Singer at Compound Media. I'm only at Compound Media for Chrissy. Wow, thank you, Anthony Curtis. That's interesting. That's funny. It's one of the sponsors at Compound. Fancy Prancer, breaded or unbreaded? I mean, right now I'm on keto, so unbreaded.
That's the only way to be, unbreaded.
Can you? I mean, I say it all the time without really realizing what it's about. This man, the unbreaded joke. This man was the unbreaded like a symbol for something being like more intense, or being like,
I don't know.
More raw.
Because that's what it seems to be, because the unbreaded comes from his video. It's about 50 seconds long, and it looks like he's writing rap lyrics, because he's like, touchdown on paper, unbreaded. No. Touchdown on paper, unbreaded. Right? And then he starts getting into it, and he keeps repeating those lines. So I, to this day, don't know what they mean, other than knowing that they are words from God's mind to Mr. Harris's mouth.
Yeah. Like
And that
all art, it's up to our interpretation.
they are the message of a generation.
It almost sounds like he is bagging groceries. He's giving you the option of like paper, and instead of saying plastic, he goes unbreaded. Like you can have your groceries.
Has anybody tried reaching out to him directly to
He's in jail. So
Oh,
it's kind
which
of
one?
tough.
So Chrissie could reach out directly.
Maybe my prison pen pal could reach out to him.
I think he's in Colorado. I think that's where they picked him up. In maybe Boulder. Let me see if I can find out.
How long is he in for?
Well, he's awaiting trial, which is actually coming up at some point here.
Could you cover his trial? That would be a full circle.
I would love to. I don't think it's going to be televised. Let me see. He was arrested, held without bail, charged with threats to UCLA after arrest in Boulder. So yeah, I would assume he's in the county jail in Boulder, Colorado.
Wow.
But well, it's a federal. Oh shit! No, it's a federal case, so there won't be any video coverage of it. So he's probably in.
So he gets the Ghislaine Maxwell loophole.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. He was taken into custody Tuesday in Colorado. It doesn't say where he is, but I would imagine he's being held at the county jail, probably in Denver, because that's where the federal court is. So we'll have to see. But man, yeah, I would love to cover that trial. I think his manifesto is one of the funniest things I've read ever.
And are you still reading from it?
Yes.
What page are you on?
We do a random page every night.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah, so I read it completely out of context because, just like the Bible, right? You don't want to read what comes.
Thinking you're just kind of like, what message do I need today? And then you just point.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't want to bother yourself with like contextualizing anything or trying to figure out if there's deeper meaning. You just take the one section you've got at face value and then you run with it. And that's been a good life lesson or a good life, tactic for me.
And how did you find this man again? For people who don't know.
There was just a news story about this UCLA professor who had threatened, or he had posted a manifesto. This is all they said at first. He had posted a manifesto on the UCLA message board, and then he was arrested for terroristic threats. And it's like, so what I wanted to do at first was start reading this thing to see what the terroristic threats were. And I like reading the manifesto and I'm like, I don't see anything that qualifies as a legally actionable threat in here. There's a whole bunch of like heavy rhetoric, but we have really important speech protections that say you can say just about anything as long as you're not inciting someone imminently to violence. Like I could talk, I could say that Supreme Court justices and politicians need to be hung from the rafters or whatever, and that's protected speech. Now, if there are rafters and there are politicians right now, and I've got a mob, and I say these guys need to be hung from the rafters, that's incitement because the mob could feasibly move and act on them right now. But I'm looking and I'm like, I don't see anything. Then I found out later, though, that he did threaten to shoot in individual emails all of the UCLA philosophy professors and faculty.
Well, it's a useless major. I can understand.
Right.
You're going to graduate with no job.
He attempted to buy the gun. And that's when he got arrested because they're like, oh, this guy's actually fucking serious. And his threats were, from what I've seen of the emails, which they're not like all released, but they talk about what was in them. They are very specific. Like, I am going to shoot you with this thing at this time. And that's when you start to get into, real threats.
Another vote for unbreaded from Elvanis. Thank you, Elvanis. Anthony Curtis, go Frost, FNT. I feel like I will die with that nickname. Pepsi Man, Chrissy, you were great on Gutfeld. Get Nick on too. Oh my gosh. If only I had pull. Thank you, Pepsi Man. Nick, you would be great at that show. Minor Zircon. I imagine that says shit rackets. Keep grifting, Sensei.
You know, I'd love to see Nick, and you could probably hook it up, Chrissy, is on Anthony Cumia's show.
Of course. Oh my God. Yes.
Zoom in.
You could definitely zoom in. No problem. Yeah. Unless you want to come to New York City.
Well, I've never actually been other than as a layover. So I do want to go to New York City. I've plans to get there. I
Ooh.
don't know when, but man, I hear there's good eating in New York.
There's pizza. Yeah,
Isn't there like everything though? Like it's
I guess so. I don't know. I stopped going to restaurants because I wasn't jabbed. So I mostly just go to delis.
yeah.
I stick to Dunkin' Donuts is kind of my go-to, but
Okay.
maybe I should have kept that to myself. Yes, there are a lot of good restaurants. Maybe I'm just like maybe I'm just over it. Trail Faz, Chrissy, balls or no balls? Of course I'm always pro balls. That will never
It's the only
change.
correct answer. It's the only one. All these
Mhm.
no balls weirdos, like just a bare shaft. That's strange. I
If
don't like
you're
it.
for no balls, you are for the transhuman agenda.
Yeah.
Yep. Minor Zircon, tell Nick to read a page of the Holy Unbreaded. I don't know if you have that with you.
I mean, I always have it with me, but I typically don't do that on someone else's show unless they want me to, because it has lots of no words. I always wait till after I wait till after 2 hours on my show because
Okay, that's smart.
because the YouTube review kind of stops at 2 hours. So,
Maybe just a paragraph.
I mean, we could also just look at it. We don't even need to read.
Okay. Oh, thank you, Jay Schwashelbach, for being a member. I just started YouTube members. Frank, were you going to say something and then you left?
I was going to say there's two very, very important messages, and you just read one of them. New member.
Oh, about the new members. And the second
Very
one is
important.
Mazit Wazad became a YouTube member.
Schwashelbach actually threw a
That's
super
awesome.
chat in confirming that he's now a member.
Yes, I see it. Wow. Thank you, Swashelbach, aka Swashel Bear. Okay, Frank, I joined. Happy now? Is this what it takes to get you off, you sick man? Ha 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 ha. Rekieta, I'll throw you some love later. Hail Friday Night Tights. P.S. Good job on Fox. Hope you get to do it again soon. Thanks, Swashelbach.
Yeah, by the way, congratulations on that appearance. I haven't watched it, but just even being there is awesome, and that was really cool to see.
Thank you. It was so much fun. Just like getting your hair and makeup done is a big deal. I was like, this is a success. Even if I just leave with a blowout, it was a good day. I'm going to see how long I can make it last. The
You looked
ladies are
good on
so
the
nice.
I saw a screenshot of it. You looked really good on the show. So
Oh,
that's
thank
good.
you.
Like they didn't make you like look hideous. That would have been terrible.
Yeah, and they have so many different colors of eyeshadow, and I was like, who gets the green eyeshadow? And the lady was like, actually, Kennedy loves green eyeshadow and purple and funky colors. So maybe if there's a next time, I'll go funky. Bill Sotheby, these are people who believe men can claim to be a woman and it's a reality. So, of course, many of these people believe that only if the woman wants the baby does it magically impart true life. Weirdos. These people act like someone has forced them to have unprotected sex.
Yes.
It's like this disgusting amount of just a lack of responsibility that's become so trendy.
It's wild because so again, not to go back to the debate tonight, guys, if you want to
Yes,
if you want
I'm into this. I'm into the debate.
Okay, well, I'll do it here, but I'm gonna do because I left the debate early. I had to go hang out with my not aborted kids, and and so right after I left, I saw the chat like lighting up that apparently they got really salty like right after I left, which will be funny for me to watch tonight. So I'll be doing that on my show, but and kind of just going through the general idea of it, but this. One of the key arguments from one of the other lawyers on the panel was that people have always been able to have the decision of whether to have and bear children or whatever. And it's like, yeah, but they made that decision. Like that decision, it's not like they were passive. Well, I mean, they could have starfished, I guess, but it's not like they were passive in this decision-making process, right?
It's like, you just laid there, but I always just lay there.
That's my easy out. But it's like there's participation here. There's consent given. Now, obviously, there are harder questions around rape and incest and stuff like that. But if we just narrowed it down to just that, you're talking about eliminating a conservative estimate of 97% of abortions. And so when we're talking, we can speak in generalities and say that on balance, the overwhelming majority of aborted babies were conceived consensually. They were conceived with participation from both parties. And then the whole idea is, it's like, well, they shouldn't be forced to bear children. In fact, early on in the debate, one of the guys like, well, what about the government mandating pregnancy? I'm like, what, like a government rape squad going around just inseminating everyone? Like, are we serious here?
Ooh, only if we can pick who it is.
Right. It's like, oh god, who would you pick?
Well, no, I don't know. I've never given it some thought. Maybe some variation of like a Channing Tatum. Well, you have to have a mix because you have to have like the guy from The Notebook for the chicks that are into the softer guys. You got to have like, you know, a
You gotta
couple
have
of
the rogues gallery of government semen agents.
a couple of jacked guys if you're into that. I think a nice bevy of like men with beards, patriots with like shirts with American flags on them. That's nice. That's a good go-to. Definitely like a lot of solid men with union jobs. Like I need upper body strength, chest hair,
How
untied
many of those
shoes.
men's like profile pictures are taken from inside of a truck with sunglasses on?
Oh man.
I'm telling you the truth. You're gonna get the truth right now. The government semen squad's coming.
Ooh, government semen squad. And like, yeah, I would say you know, probably some diversity if that's what you want. But then if you don't want it, you shouldn't be forced to have like if you're gonna get raped, you shouldn't be forced to have sex with someone that you wouldn't normally go for.
Look, the rape is happening, but choose your ethnicity, please.
Yes. Like a choose your rapist. But then is it even rape if you've consented to every part leading up to it?
This all sounds ridiculous, but if the government were going to do it, you know that's how it would turn out too, right? Like that it would
Yeah.
be absurd. So I'm with it.
And hey, our birth rate is not where it should be. Like we're not even replacing ourselves.
We're closing borders, but the insemination squad is coming. We just gotta look, we need replacement rate at least, and we're going for double replacement rate. So
We should be focusing on opening other borders, and I'm talking about Karens. The Front Porch Conservative says Mayor and Rekieta on the same stream on a Wednesday night. You two are gonna burn the internet down, and it would be glorious, unbreaded. Do you ever get sick of hearing that?
No, because it's one of those dumb things where I like every time I hear it, I get that stupid little chuckle. it's
Like I did that.
It's weird. It's like because it's also so ridiculous. And because some people ask why I do the unbreaded segment, especially because, like I said, I could share you a picture if you want, but it has a lot of no words on it. So it's up to you.
Well, I was very upset when I was on Gutfeld. They told me I couldn't say the word retarded, and I kind of had a joke planned, and I was like, "Damn it, I can't say retarded." And then they said, I was like, overall, I walked in going, "You can't curse," but then a production guy says, "Well, we try not to go into the double digits for bleeping for you guys." So he said he worked it out that each of us gets 1 or 2 bleeps per, but I didn't use any. Because I was like,
I killed my camera.
Oh, I thought you were just making a stern. You were deep in thought.
No, I killed it. Here, I'll fix it.
Remove you? Oops, he's gone. Now he's
no, I'll just be an avatar for a minute while I fix it.
That's funny. That's a funny avatar.
Wait, I have a different one.
It's almost like I can smell the avatar.
That's good. Hold on, let me do the other one here.
Ooh, are those balls? No. That's your face again.
I screwed up. But it's still frozen. So
I'm not sure what I'm looking at.
That's a cat, clearly.
Oh, is it balls? Is it a butt? Is it
that's a gunt.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Gunt Cat. Here's your friend.
I can't believe I didn't know. Of course, now it's obvious. It's like a magic eye. Once you see it.
Hold on, I'm really far away.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds like he's far away. I can say the word retarded, by the way, because I had a retarded uncle. I'm retarded on my mom's side. It's all good. He gave me the go ahead.
I'm
Chrissy,
retarded
while,
on my mom's.
Nick is getting his thing back together. A couple of really, really exciting things to show you. Ready? Ready, Chrissy?
Oh, okay. Seven Seeker became a member. Good. Now we can oust the Sixth Seeker.
And
Front Porch Conservative became a member. Yes. I love seeing the members. Ew, that sounds gross.
Dude, all of my capture equipment is completely busted right now. I have no idea what the hell is happening with it.
What happened? Is it sticky?
I shared that screen and then it shut down
Now it's gone.
my thing. I'll try one more. I can
That's
try
right.
one more issue, but we can keep talking while I do this.
Cecil says hello. Hello,
this is
Cecil.
just how Nick gets away with being naked on stream.
That's
He's
true.
He's just a jerk it real quick. Westfield 90. A huge thanks to Nick for helping my insomnia become less of a nightmare. Oh.
Hey.
Wow, look at that. You're helping people. Marcus Kleeman. Holy moly. A couple of minutes into the stream and two of my favorite YouTubers and already hitting topics of utter seriousness with necessary levity. Cheers from the EU. Hope you figure this out before it hits us. Breaded. All right, that's a vote for breaded.
Breaded? What's wrong with you, man? Oh, wait. From the EU.
He's
European.
Europe. Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So
they don't understand. They don't understand things.
They eat beans on toast. So that's all you need to know.
They
right?
beans on toast. They don't floss. It's a mess over there.
Dude, what is up with the beans thing? I do not. I don't get
it.
The
TikToker that says beans, like that's her.
No,
Tourette's is to say beans.
I just mean the English's obsession with beans. Like it's
food.
They
the
fucking
legume.
put beans on everything. It's like baked beans. It's like baked beans. Like of all the things in the world you could choose, you choose baked beans as your cuisine.
Well, as a person who was raised with a lot of beans in my house because it was cheap, it's like it's protein and it's also got like kind of a sauce to it. So it's like there's a lot going on there. It's like it's a struggle meal, obviously, first and foremost, but you can eat them out of the can. You can eat them. It can be a side dish. You can have them on a piece of bread. And it's like you can convince yourself that it's satiating.
Yeah, I guess it's weird to me. I would choose like the national cuisine of England is beans. I would choose anything else.
Ugh.
Anything else at all.
Yeah. Not good. Not good. All right, here's a name I can't pronounce. Hoshang Raj. That sounds like a medical condition. Vigor is for weenies. Nick Rekieta, probably. Or anti-vigor?
Yes, 100%. They're talking about Elden Ring, and I'm opposed to Vigor.
Because I was about to be like, Vigor, what? Vigor, Vigor, please.
I'm anti-Vigor, actually. I'm like the Richard Spencer of Vigor. So is that okay to say? I don't know if that's okay.
Oh, sure. We haven't.
Isn't he gay?
Richard Spencer?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know anything about him other than people say he's a white supremacist or whatever, a KKK person. Mazit was congratulations on the Gutfeld show, Chrissy. It was a total touchdown. Unbreaded. Thanks, Meatwad. Anna's flabby arms. I would choose Nick to be my daddy. 10 out of 10. Ooh. What do you think of that?
Yeah, okay. I mean, I have enough kids, so I guess adding another one's not a big deal.
Would this be part of your government mandated rape, or you're just saying generally, Anna? Okay. Either way.
I was thinking like actual fatherhood. Like you took that to a whole different place.
I was still thinking about the other thing. Ian Ellis. What does Nick think about Brendan Schaub making a lawsuit against the very small YouTuber Unique for making jokes about him? And Bobby Lee is next.
There is a far bridge between making fun of someone and actually defaming them. And anyone who uses the legal process to deal with their ass hurt is an idiot. So, hey, here we go. I've got my tool, my camera fix. I've got my tool. That's fine. Fucking hell.
Ellie
Everything's
Munoz.
broken.
I'm one of the Chrissies, Missies, Teehee. We're trying to think of a name for people who enjoy my content. But nothing is sticking. Chris Oliphant. Unbreaded is like a fart. No matter how many times you hear it, still funny. True.
Yes. Yes, 100%.
Ryan Gordon. Where was Nick's debate? Oh, I think it was on, what'd you say? It was on Destiny's channel?
Yeah, it was on Destiny's channel. And I apologize. There's no way I can get my camera back without restarting my computer. So we'll have to stick with this for now. So
But your face.
my apologies. I mean, I could just oh, what?
What? Wow.
Is it working? It wasn't working 2
It would
seconds
have been
ago.
so funny if the camera came back on and Nick had
were
no
naked?
shirt on.
Yeah.
I would love that. I'd be like, well, I guess I'm out.
What? Whoopsies.
No shirt on, nipple clamps with batteries, and,
That would be
and
great.
one hell of a tubing.
That'd be so great. I'm upset that you still had your shirt on. Dustin Wright. Baked beans are great for the weekend drill. Does that mean farting and pooping?
Yes.
Deranged lunatic. I've eaten beanie weenies many times for a meal.
Ooh, that brings me back to the kid days, man. Oof.
Oof is right. So the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial they're on a break right now.
Yes. The judge had a judicial conference, so they are off until Monday the 16th, and they will be back then to resume. Their closing arguments will be the Friday the 27th of May. So the judge has expressed a desire for the jury to come to a verdict prior to Memorial Day. So that's we should have an answer by then in the case.
This article here from the New York Post, Johnny Depp is in Europe. I guess he flew to Europe. As experts say, he faces an uphill battle in the case against Amber Heard. And again, they always do a video which has nothing to do with the story.
Yeah, heels, snow,
and then
dye.
I end up watching it and I become more interested in that than whatever else. Like, look at that. This is so interesting. Heels in the snow. We've all done it. And like at this point you're drunk and it doesn't matter. You can't feel anything.
I am going
like
to.
She's gonna eat it.
Die.
Oh my god.
Oh, I thought she was just gonna eat she was just gonna
Eat
bite
snow?
it, you know.
Yeah, that's how you can
too
tell
bad.
someone didn't spend a lot on their shoes if they're just willingly gonna walk through snow.
These aren't Pradas, apparently.
The New York Post thinks the fact that he is so famous makes his case even tougher to win, legal experts told the Post this week. The Pirates of the Caribbean star. Do you say Caribbean or Caribbean?
I say Caribbean most of the time, I think. But I vacillate between the two. I'm not strong on either side of this issue.
What about caramel?
Oh God.
See, I say both of those too. I say caramel and caramel. I don't know why. I hate I don't like caramel or caramel. I'm not. I don't eat it.
I think Caribbean is the correct answer. F's in the chat for Caribbean.
Of course, Jimmy Buffett would say Caribbean, right?
All right, so
rest in peace, Jimmy Buffett.
He's still alive.
He's dead?
No, to me he is.
So why are they writing this? I thought he was doing great. Uphill battle.
Okay, one thing you have to understand about the New York Post. This is very important.
Is that it's trash? Is that why I like it?
No, I like the New York Post on a lot of things, but on Johnny Depp specifically, the New York Post is owned by the exact same company that owns the UK Sun, who he sued in England. So it's the same company, and you find quite a bit of suspiciously negative coverage of Johnny Depp on the New York Post. So that it has to be, again, and everyone, it's very important for people to realize that my position on bias is that bias is 100% okay, but it should be disclosed so that everybody is able to lens what they're consuming through the knowledge of that bias. And I would say that the New York Post has a slight bias against Johnny Depp here. And by slight, I mean pretty big.
if they're for Amber Heard, why would they put this picture in their article?
Look at how sad she looks. This is amazing because when you actually, like, this is a freeze frame, and so it's out of its context, but in the context of every one of these freeze frames, Amber Heard is crying. Allegedly. She is not yelling. Like, I know right now it looks like she is screaming at the soccer referee because her son was fouled. Like, I get that that's the face that she has, but she is trying to emulate human emotions as a Mark Zuckerberg styled robot. She doesn't know what those are. And so she is copying what she thinks to be an effective cry. But when you freeze frame her, so often you find anger and rage. And like, I'm not one of those weird gay micro expression people, but she does it all the time. And it's because I don't think she actually has any sadness in her at all, because I think her story is almost entirely fabricated.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, this is the face of someone who can't return an item because it's been more than 30 days.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And her testimony to me reeks of that sort of issue. This how dare I have to stand trial over my words.
Ugh.
Anger.
Didn't she bring up Kate Moss recently, like in a really inorganic way? It's like, oh well, I remembered Kate Moss.
Yes.
Like something a normal person would never think to bring up Kate Moss. Like she dated him in the 90s.
Yeah, and he was at the time. I'm not perfect on the lore of Johnny Depp. Like, I just I like a lot of his movies just fine, but I'm not one of the people who follows him, or even who has been following the drama around this case extensively. But if I understand correctly, Kate Moss was in a relationship with Johnny Depp, and there was a rumor that he had shoved her, and she said that rumor was absolutely untrue.
Yeah, Heard said she swung at Depp during a fight because Depp was punching at her sister Whitney Heard, who heard. This gets confusing because it's he said, she heard, they heard, Amber Heard. Turds.
Mm-hmm.
And then you realize how old this dude is. You're like, damn, this is the 90s.
Yo, remembering his first movie was Nightmare on Elm Street 1, which I think was 1984. And
Wow.
he was, like 19 years old at the time. So, I mean, it's weird to remember that Johnny Depp is, I mean, he's 58 now. So whatever that maths out to, but he's been around a long time.
So do you think that Amber Heard just bringing up Kate Moss is a desperate just attempt to add more to her case?
Yeah, I think she's trying to, one, I think she's trying to invoke some feelings from people who might know that story, or something like that. But the whole ordeal is her trying to, and you can watch it happen. There's this moment. I have a clip of it. I'm doing these stupid little clips from the trial because they get like 1 million views and are funny. But there's this moment where she's crying, right? And she looks, you can watch her. She starts to cry. She looks at the jury. She cries harder. She looks back at the jury, and then she cries even harder. And it's the funniest thing in the world. She is trying to find the response, right? And it's like if you've ever been to local theater and you watch them like progress a local joke that's not in the script, they're like,
Oh God.
and
Yeah.
everybody hates it, but they do it, and then the audience is like, and so then the next time they do it louder, and the audience laughs louder. So then the next time it's like ridiculous. That's what I watch Amber Heard doing. It's her fishing for the answer the entire time.
Wow. Yeah, it's like it's her first time doing comedy in Appleton, Wisconsin, and she's got to find out like what makes this group of people tick. What are the local jokes? What's the name of the poor town that I can make fun of nearby?
Yes.
Interesting. Jeffrey Fildy I would rather give you the money on locals. Well, I'm not there. I'm here. But
I
thank
think
you.
they're telling you to get on locals is what I think.
I think I have a spot saved for me over there.
I like them. They're nice to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sold. I'm sold. I'm going to sign up tomorrow. Marcus Kleeman, hey, I do floss. Europeans are not some relics from the past. Okay, we are. But let's be real. Both breaded or unbreaded don't make much sense. Agreed. Hey, Rekieta. Okay, boomer.
I mean, if you want to put it that way, to me, unbreaded means everything.
I'd rather live my life like in an unbreaded way, just give it to me straight.
Exactly.
I don't have to pick the crumbs off. Brandon Lesko, test simp for good logic. Is that one of your enemies?
No, Good Logic is a friend of mine. Joe Neerman. He's a fellow lawyer who's on YouTube. He's not like rebroadcasting this, is he? Because if he is, I'll have to punch him.
God. Me too. I hate when people do that. Alex Stein. Never forget. Jay Bama fan. Mayor's Bears? Okay. Maybe. Gabriel Knight. Chrissy, growing up, what did your house smell like if everyone was frequently eating beans? It smelled like there was a lot of hard-boiled eggs happening in my house, a lot of sliced turkey, like a lot of cold cuts, but like the cheap stuff. And then like tuna salad. What did it smell like? Herbal Essences shampoo, probably.
Dude, deli meat in your ramen, that's
ramen. That must be an Italian thing. I did not experience ramen prior to.
An Italian thing?
Yeah.
Who's Italian?
Frank is Italian. The filing cabinet.
Oh, okay.
You guys put ramen in everything. It's like always a side dish.
I think it's called pasta.
No, you like have the little squares of ramen that you like thaw out and.
Oh, you're talking about when my mom would make like hot dogs or hamburgers or something random.
Yeah, that's new.
We
didn't do that.
Quick and cheap for a side. Yeah,
well,
so she would take the ramen, boil it, strain it like it was pasta, and then sprinkle those like weird flavor packets into it and toss it.
Ooh,
it's actually good. Yeah, the brothless ramen is pretty good if you do it that way.
Unbreaded ramen.
But I guess it's no longer ramen then at that point. It's just noodles, right?
They have like a dry ramen category somewhere, but I don't know if that's an American thing or if it's actually Japanese. I mean, I don't trust anything from Japan without verifying it first because, well, let's just say that 2 nukes were maybe not enough.
I fell for some Asian foot pads a couple years back. They'd be these sticky pads you put under your feet and you sleep with them on. And then when you wake up, you're supposed to peel them off and be like, all the toxins that came out. And then you just realize like they probably came with shit in them and just the sweat of your night foot would bring it out.
No, Chrissy, that's literally what happened. And I made fun of you for a week because I told you this isn't real. Why are you doing this to your feet? And I proved it to you.
That was detoxing.
It's sucking all the toxins out of my head through my feet. Leave me alone, Frank.
Yeah. And then you'd be like, I'm just going to get it wet. Look, the same thing happens.
It was a dark time in our relationship. I realized Chrissy was susceptible to scams.
Wow. Not like now. Anyway, what sign are you, Nick?
What sign am I? Sagittarius, right?
Ooh.
December 16th. I think that's Sagittarius.
I have nothing on that. David A. Hamilton. Nick's coming back with his heels level with his ears. What?
It's not true. It's not true. Well, I have developed life advice, and it is to never have your chin and your heels in the same picture at the same time.
Your chin and your heels?
It's really only one way you get there.
Think Elsa Jean.
What have you like?
You think Elsa Jean? There you go.
There you go.
Look, it's just healthy life advice. I'm just saying.
Okay.
But that's from the Jack Murphy thing, right?
Okay. Yes, I remember. I still kind of want to have him on my show because people were upset that I wasn't like tough enough on him. But what I wanted to do, he didn't seem down for, which was go through all of the memes.
Yeah, you see, he should be now because they're running a promotion for the liminal order. Your first month is now free.
Oh my goodness. With promo code CUCK?
God, see, if he would do it, I think he can make a comeback. I think he can squeeze it out.
Dude, that's exactly what Chris and I were talking about like 3 months ago. Like if he just chilled out, was humble, went on to like a more light podcast and just gave all of the memes an A through F score and
Yeah.
said nothing else,
Let's give it a chance.
he'd be somewhat redeemed as having a
Well,
sense of humor.
he would also have to, at the end of the show, pop the dildo out of his ass and like show it and be like, see, and I'm still
Well,
there.
apparently it was
That's so
not
funny.
in, it was next to.
Yeah. Okay. It was just up against.
It was against. It was against, not in. That's the important distinction he made. It's against, not in. That's his t-shirt slogan.
Ooh.
Against, not in.
Against, not in. Okay.
Bogey. Is it white supremacist or white supremacist? I guess it depends if it comes with sour cream.
Yes.
That was easy. Lewis S. Hey, Nick, why don't you think the Rittenhouse jurors don't any anonymous interviewers' books? Couldn't one of them make a lot of easy money?
I think there's an expiration date on that. They don't have to be anonymous anymore. But I think, you know, Rittenhouse and the trial was a flash in the pan, but I really, and then he did his media tour, which is of, you know, varying value depending on who you talk to. But he did that grabbed the attention of everything. And then the jurors didn't capitalize on it. And I think the media really wants to kind of stay away from the Rittenhouse story in general, because one, they all looked like fools and assholes. And two, you know, just the thrust of the story runs against their narrative. So I think jurors might have had a way to quickly capitalize on it. But I think the farther away we get from that trial, the less likely it is that anybody cares what they thought. I mean, we know what they thought, that he defended himself. I mean, is a juror going to come out and say, I have a completely different theory of Kyle Rittenhouse's innocence than he was justified in shooting 3 people? I don't think so. I mean, I guess it's possible. Maybe there's one who's like, well, he missed the black guy, so therefore we know he was okay. Right? Like that.
Is he actually suing what? Was MSNBC, or was Kyle going to sue one of the networks?
He's supposed to be suing Whoopi Goldberg. I don't know. I haven't seen those lawsuits manifest yet. So who knows? But you know, if you publicly announce you're going to sue someone, and then your lawyers can enter talks with their lawyers to determine that maybe you won't. So who knows what's going on there, and we may never see anything. No resolution. We might not see anything else. I think him suing people is a really, really tough sell. While I do think that he might have a technical case somewhere, I worry personally that some people might be advising him into very expensive long-term lawsuits with very little gain. And to me, it's like, you're 19, you beat the entire system, you showed the entire media up. Any conservative outlet would love to have, like, if he wants to be in media, they'd love to have a Kyle Rittenhouse media personality. Any conservative outlet or any relatively conservative law firm would, if he wants to go to law school, would be happy to have him, you know, because he'll be that guy forever. But I wonder about the value of defamation suits, which are almost always going to fail. And they're probably going to fail at pre-trial, and they will cost hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars.
Just for like a splashy headline and to like own the media some more.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, like the popular term is that Nicholas Sandmann was successful in suing the media, and a lot of people think that he won like $250 million, but that was what he sued for. What the actual settlement was completely confidential, and no one knows. And it literally could have been, I think he settled 2 of the suits. It literally could have been $0 for either or both of them. And if it was like $0 for the first one to put pressures on the other ones, it could have been, you know, $10,000 to $100,000 on the second. But everybody assumes that Sandmann won this huge multi-million-dollar settlement, and we have no evidence that he has done anything like that. So it's it's a mixed bag on defamation lawsuits, especially against the media, especially when he is on camera shooting 3 people. Like that is true. So the distinction is murder or is killing the appropriate term? And while I may think that that killing is the appropriate term and murder is inappropriate, does that become actionable defamation? That's a hard question.
What if we were to consider them very late term abortions?
Yes, that I think we're good with. If we're going to have abortion, it should apply all the way through someone's 20s.
Yeah. Until you move out of the house, really, you're still a child.
Right.
Okay. Rob Pyers, Nick. Oh, the camera is on. It has been on the whole time. Hello.
Yeah.
That's you.
Are you familiar with Dark Side Phil, the internet's legend?
No.
Oh, well, that was a Dark Side Phil moment right there. He had his Twitch stream, and during his little pre-roll thing, right? Like before the stream, normally the camera wouldn't be displayed, but it was this time, right?
Oh no. Was he like in a naughty position? Oh, I do remember that.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
I have a feeling that there's a guy that we have on our Compound Media show is Frankie McDonald. He's an autistic weatherman from Nova Scotia, Canada, and
I've seen that guy.
He zooms in. We have no control over him anymore. Like if he wants to come on your show, he's coming on your show, whether you book him or not. So he's sort of taken a liking to my show now, and we've seen clips sometimes that you watch back and you're like, is he jerking off during the show? Because I have a lot of adult film stars on as guests, and like sometimes you'll see this, and then you'll see like, is he reaching for tissues? It's very mysterious, and I have to get to the bottom of it.
Look, that's how you predict the weather, right? Like,
true.
It's the amount of strokes in the jerk that'll tell you if it's going to rain tomorrow. Because if it takes like too many and things start to get uncomfortable, there's a lot of humidity in the air. Things aren't working as well, and so I think that it's valid. This is science.
Right, because my mom used to tell by how her joints were acting up, like that would correlate to the weather or like humidity or like what was going on. So maybe that's like depending on his jizz consistency, or angle, or like how fast it would. I don't know.
Or like if his taint hurts, like he's like,
right,
God, after that nut, my taint it's like a little bit more sore today. So therefore,
6 more weeks of winter.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. Joey Big Play. Would you rather be a G word or R word? I think G word. I mean, can we make up? I assume you mean gay or retarded. I think I'd rather be gay, because gay could be a lot of things. Like you could be temporarily gay. Like stop being gay. Come on, let's go for a drink. But if you're retarded, or you could also act retarded and not actually be retarded.
But would you rather be retarded or a lesbian? I think is the real, that's the true question.
Either way, I could get a job at Trader Joe's.
See, I would choose lesbian every time.
Yeah, I would choose lesbian.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lesbians are dying out. They're all becoming trans now. They're all being pressured to go trans.
The best part about being a lesbian is you can beat your wife and not get in trouble for it.
True.
Right? Like all of us dudes out here with our hands tied by the law.
And you save so much money on nails. Really, you're just like a very low maintenance woman. GSS. Oh, I already announced you. Oh, wait, but your emoji is something hot. Good for you. Ave Hine. Glad to see you have.
You had GJJ.
Oh, my God. How dare I dismiss this other person with initials? Fuck, now it's gone. All right. Well, thanks, other G person. Ave Hine. Glad to see you have Frankie McDonald on the show again. Slimmed a bit. Can you ask him for a weather forecast in Houston for next week? I hope you don't think that Nick here is Frankie McDonald.
If they need me to predict the weather while jerking off, this can be arranged.
He can forecast the weather with one hand. It's amazing.
Let me get the old weather vane out.
The old weather vane. Oh my God. You want to see it? Pat Maloney, Rackets, please explain to Chrissy why mommy psychologist came off on breaded and turd psychologist came off as soggy bread.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Did you see the two different experts that they brought on? Johnny Depp's team had a forensic psychologist named Dr. Curry. She's from Hollywood. She looks like she's from Hollywood.
Was she in a hurry?
No, she took her time, and everybody was fine with it because she was very, very attractive lady.
She was hot and she had like a messy bun, right?
Yeah. She was up there. She gave a very convincing opinion, and then Amber Heard's forensic psychologist looked like a ham beast with an agenda, and is a Madison Avenue. She's a Madison Avenue psychologist. So the best part about her is she works at battered women's shelters for free and pays her entire, basically her entire business of forensic psychology is done in advocating for female victims, which is something, but she doesn't acknowledge that males can be victims of domestic violence, except when it's done by other men. Like that's the only time that it seems to happen.
Which is
and
sexist.
It was super glorious. And she looks like a pug ate too many ham sandwiches. And
what's this person's name?
Oh, fuck. What is her name?
I'm going to Google Amber Heard's psychologist.
Yeah, that'll work. And if you find a picture of a hot blonde, it's not her.
Let's just bring up all the photos. Wow. What is Amber Heard going to do now? She can't get work.
Dr. Dawn Hughes is the name.
Dawn Hughes. You know that it's always darkest before the dawn. Is this her?
Yeah, there she is.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can, if you look like right down below it to the left, there's that picture of her and Amber Heard. Look at that.
Oh, God. It's like future Heard.
Yeah, she does. She is like a boutique shop for finding men guilty of abuse. That's like her purpose. I'm not even joking. Like that's what she does on the stand over and over and over again. They knew exactly who they were hiring when they hired her. She's worked with this legal team before on a similar issue, and they knew what they were getting.
Why did she fire her whole PR team? Do you think?
Because she was getting pounded harder than, I don't know.
Than a certain dildo?
Pounded harder than Jack Murphy, I guess. She was getting just destroyed in headline after headline. They did a comparative analysis of the hashtag Justice for Johnny Depp and hashtag Justice for Amber Heard, and Johnny Depp's hashtags. I don't think it was just this one, but it was, the pro Johnny Depp hashtags had something like 7 billion hits, and the pro Amber Heard ones had about 20 million hits. So I mean, you're talking about massive disparity in what was going on. And then recently, her team or like Eve Barlow or something was touting the fact that it was like the Amber Heard hashtag was trending higher than Johnny Depp's. But when you looked at it, it was actually because people were shitting on her, but using the hashtag. So she's been getting just smoked in the public media. Outside of New York Post, I mean, and if you go into my chat room, you're going to find pro Johnny sentiment, which is probably less surprising to a lot of people. But when you go into Legal Bites' chat room, Emily Baker's chat room, that Umbrella Guy's chat room, Come Geek Some's chat room, when you go into Law and Crime, like with no commentary at all, you're going to find overwhelming, massive support for Johnny Depp from the people and almost none for Amber Heard. And I mean, when I put up a poll, it's 98% to 2% in favor of Johnny Depp.
Can I put up a poll?
Yeah.
I don't think I know how to.
You got to go to your chat window, and down right below the chat line, there's like an emoji thing. And then right next to it is a little poll box that you click on.
I don't have that. What the hell? I don't have a poll box.
You a visitor to your own channel, Chrissy?
Stranger in my own house. Crap. All right. Well, I'll have to reconvene on that. Mike Sullivan, I'm no biologist, but I hereby volunteer to determine if Dr. Muffins is indeed a woman. Touchdown. On paper, unbreaded.
I can't wait till she comes back. They're gonna, because she is subject to recall. They'll probably call her for rebuttal because the other doctor, Dr. Hughes, was very, very critical of her work and said that she didn't do the analysis. But of course, on cross-examination, they asked Dr. Hughes why she wasn't filling out boxes and boxes and boxes on this form, on this inventory that was supposed to help her make diagnoses and determinations. She just did not do the work. So if Dr. Curry comes back and shows that she actually filled out all the boxes, has proper notes, it's going to look really, really bad for Dr. Hughes. Plus, it'll remind the jury that she's hotter, which makes her more correct.
I should have pursued law. No, I would have sucked. You know what's funny about this trial is that we have people coming out like and spending insane money. Again, this is the Post, so maybe I won't believe it. Fans spent $30,000 to get into the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial. And here's an article about people who've just gone to great lengths to secure front row seats to this trial. Fans told People magazine they camped out in their car, sleeping in their cars. I think one woman has spent up to $30,000 on travel expenses just to wait to get in. I've never been to a public trial before. I've never stayed up for anything in my life overnight. I came in at 12:45 a.m. Said this lady from Madison, Wisconsin. I've never done something like this in my 46 years of life.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a feeling this woman is single.
Yeah, you would. I mean, I don't know. I'd be curious if like my wife was going to look at Johnny Depp. Like if like,
yeah, to me it seems the plan here is I'm gonna go to this trial. I am gonna give like big eyes and an open mouth to Johnny Depp, and who knows? We'll see what happens.
Yeah, could be. Catch the kids.
This one woman says, I've been coming back and forth to LA. You're looking at $600, $700 each time. Up to $10,000. Oh my goodness. Some woman sat out in the rain.
Why don't you just stay in Virginia? Like if you're going to keep going, why would you go back and forth between Virginia and LA? That sounds terrible.
The woman who got stuck out in the rain, when asked if she was there for Depp or Heard, she replied, I'm getting wet for Johnny. And yes. Look at this. These women have like slept outside waiting to get in. Oh my God. I don't even know what this person is. Oh my God. Okay. This is
wait. No, but go up and two to the left from that, because you're talking about the person with the black hoodie there, right?
This person, yeah.
Yeah. But go one row back and two to the left from her, and then what is that? What's going on there?
This appears to be a lesbian.
It appears to be, but it might also just be a weird guy named Eric. Right? Like
this guy, look at this guy back here. He looks like a waiter. Like he was doing a nearby catering gig, and he's like, I gotta see what's going on.
I got finished serving shrimp cocktails last night and came right over.
You can see who definitely did their makeup for this and who just is like on a fucking bender.
It is weird because yeah, it's an interesting gallery full of people every single day. You have to get there at midnight, 1 a.m.
This guy couldn't get a seat. He's so pissed. He looks like one of these chicks' dads who's like, I'm not gonna let you go to this fucking trial by yourself. I'm coming with you. Like he could not be more pissed that this is what his daughter wants to do with her free time.
My life is here fucking watching Johnny Depp argue in court. This is disgusting. But
oh my God.
But yeah, it's always an interesting mix, and it's really just whoever gets there first that day. Because I think they let it's somewhere between 50 and 100 people into the courtroom, and that's it. Everybody else has to wait outside.
Yes, this person, Ivan DeBoer, 59, used a year's worth of paid vacation. This is a man, I think. Used a year's worth of paid vacation time to travel to LA to the trial, spending $30,000. Oh, on her expenses so far.
Go back up. I bet you I can tell you who Ivan is.
Ivan. Ivan the Terrible. Where is Ivan? This is like Where's Waldo?
Ivan's the her in the vest with the glasses, right?
Is this Ivan? But I feel like Ivan's gonna want a front row seat if she's spending all this sweet non-binary coin to be here. Could be the cleavage in the front. She's from LA, right? So
Yeah, Krillis though says that's Randy Travis. That I think the dad actually does look like Randy Travis.
He's so pissed. This
Oh
guy looks
God.
suicidal. Could it be
That
this
picture
woman?
smells like cat food and cheap wine.
This is definitely a Franzia crowd right here.
Oh,
This one's wearing the puffy Seinfeld shirt.
what? Why would again? You're going to be on this is your thing. You're going to. Why would you? Oh, it's a pirate outfit. She's being a pirate. She's going as close to cosplay as she can while not getting kicked out of court.
Maybe this is Ivan because this might be a designer bag right here, or it's a knockoff.
Yeah, that does look like is it a Louis Vuitton?
It's sad. It's who here would spend 30 grand to be here, but it looks like it could be any of these hoes. Maybe it's this thing here.
I don't know. I kind of feel like that person walked to the courthouse no matter where they came from.
This is the person that got caught in the rain, I think.
Where are you from? Utah. Oh, so you flew in? No.
This person shows up and go, "Hi, must kill Bart Simpson."
They look so pissed.
Everyone looks pissed. Whew.
Well, what if you picture this from an event perspective? What if this was your thing? You're like, yes, I'm going to the Johnny Depp trial, and you get there and it's one of those days where it's all just video testimony that's just played. You would be so fucking mad. You're just sitting there no one's going to get up on stand and talk. I'm just going to be listening to a video recording. You could do this from anywhere on earth.
It's like a substitute teacher who just puts a video on.
God,
you're like, really?
Suck.
I came to school for this shit. You'd have to convince yourself that it was worth it. You'd be like, no, tomorrow's gonna be better. We're just warming up. Like this person says, I took my whole year's vacation so I could be here for Johnny. This is a sad person. I'm the same age as Johnny. I'm single, so I do what I want to, basically, until my cats get hungry. This is sad.
I mean, if you got 30 grand, there's tiers of income, maybe they're just loaded and 30 grand isn't a big deal, but I could not imagine
people getting there the night before. Oh, here's another crew. Look, there's one terminally ill person with a face mask. Up 2, 3, never mind. Oh my gosh.
Then you have the half of Johnny's legal team here back in the
is this him?
I don't know who they are, but all these guys are in suits until you get to this guy. And then you have a relatively attractive lady.
Oh yeah, she's cute. She's freaky.
Yeah.
You don't go out of your way to dye your hair this red. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, she's spending all our money on attending this trial.
Do you see the serial killer? Back 2 rows from her. Go back 2 rows and then look at the guy right there.
This one? This woman. Look at this fucking woman. This is scary to me. This is scary too. A lot of these women are scary.
Look at the dude though. The dude, that guy. Who's he going to kill?
He delivered food a couple hours ago, and he doesn't have any. This is the day he decided to quit Uber Eats, and he's like, you know what, man? I'm going to stay and watch this trial.
I hope they choke on that sandwich.
Is this John Kerry right here?
Yeah, yeah. Under the COVID mask, there are just massive jowls.
Oh God! Wow, this woman scares me. So many of these women scare me.
I think it's a fun crowd. I think you can get them. I think you can get that. You get that popping.
Do you think there's a happy hour crew after this gets out?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, these people. I promise you, what happens is these people get done at I think they're getting done at 5 p.m. local time. They go straight to the Applebee's or the TGI Fridays. They get wild with some margaritas. They talk about the day for the next 4 hours, and then they go to sleep for 3 hours to get up to come to the next showing.
God.
I promise you that's what's happening.
This woman stood in line at 4 a.m., picked up my mother-in-law so she can sleep with the kids. They're 4 and 6, stood in line, got my pass, then went back home at 7:30 a.m., got them ready for school, dropped them off, came back, and I've been working extra shifts so I can take off to come here. Holy shit. Like Smith, Metha's family thinks she's nuts, especially after explaining to her husband to spend their 10-year wedding anniversary at the trial by joining her. So Metha, that to me
romantic.
says Indian person. Oh, maybe it could be one of these men here.
No,
This
Metha was her.
guy.
Isn't that lady behind the murdering Uber Eats guy and to the right?
Mhm.
Isn't that lady could be Indian? I mean, she might just be black.
Right.
It's hard for me to say.
This is a mystery. I told him, as part of our present, can you come with me to the trial? And he's like, hell no. And she said, despite the fact her husband loves Johnny Depp, I guess doesn't want to spend their anniversary watching his trial. He just doesn't understand people getting up in the middle of the night, standing in line to come see him. But it's exhilarating seeing this in person.
This guy just knows he's not getting any ass on his own anniversary. That's what he knows. She's going to be
Yeah.
exhausted from sitting on that fucking bench all day, like that hard wooden bench the whole day. He's like, this is my anniversary. This is my anal night. And it's not going to happen.
Anniversary.
He's just pissed off. That's 10 years. The 10-year anniversary. You're supposed to do something cool. And
You should be happy your man even wants to be with you on your anniversary.
Yeah.
This is the craziest part, I think, that this woman admitted to people that her shopping spree for perfect outfits cost her $2,200 to sit and watch this trial. She spent over $2,000.
And have you seen anyone with what anything could be considered a perfect outfit? Like a single person in the audience in a perfect, like, again, I'm not a fashion judge or anything, but my
No.
God, like none of them are
perfect
perfect
outfit.
outfits to me. But I am a bigot, so
This is crazy. Yeah, I
That
don't
would
think we're
help.
ever going to understand this. Whew, I feel better knowing I'm not among the unwashed, damp masses attending this
God, it
trial.
would smell so much in that, like it would just smell like wet person.
Mhm.
Ugh.
Wet
Ugh.
purse.
Yeah.
Jillian and love to Nick, Chrissy, and Franklin cabinet. I'm happy for the unbreaded shyster is here. While thanking me for becoming a member of her channel, Chrissy misgendered me as a male. I'm not. After all, Amber hit on me. Do I have a case? Thanks, Jillian. Sorry, I can't believe I called you a man. You are obviously very female.
Wait, when did Amber hit on you? That's a fun story.
Yeah, that's very fun. All right.
Was it at the trial?
Don't feel like you have to super chat the answer. We'll
No,
try to find it.
just tag
Just say
us.
it. Just tag it. Doug Murray. Hey, Chrissy, just jumped over here from Carrie's show. Hope you're doing great. Rackets, can't wait for the show tonight. You've been on fire this week. Let's go.
Raise the roof because
You
it's
have a blue
1996.
wedding ring. Are you married to a mermaid?
No, I back when I used to do exercise, which is long gone, I would notice that I have a titanium wedding ring, but when you grab anything with it, like a bar, it will pinch a nerve right here and hurts like shit. So I got this thing because it's soft and cozy, and my actual wedding ring is safe in a keepsake box.
That's smart. Orange, red. Nick, in Tim Pool's chat tonight, someone asked Tim when you would be back on. Tim said anytime you wanted to be, he would have you back. So make it sooner than later, please.
Okay. It's a weird thing, right? Like, when are you going to be, hey, Tim, have me
Like
on your show again.
Like it's up to you when you do these things.
Maybe I need to reach out to Lydia and say, hey, if you guys want to have me on, I'd be happy to. Because
Yeah, this would be perfect time, especially when it comes back, the trial.
Yeah. Well, they were super gracious last time, so I'd be happy to go on again. I'll see what we can do. I also have to figure out my schedule because it's the end of the school year, which is a fucking nightmare.
Are you in school? Oh no, you have kids.
No, I have 5 children, and they're homeschooled, but all their activities that they do all end at the same time as school does. So, like, I've got dance recitals, piano recitals, violin recitals, church activities closing up. That's where I was tonight. Like, their church little like youth activities are done, and so it was parents' night, and then there's just a whole bunch of little things like that right now. So every day.
Are they good at any of the activities, or it's just to keep them busy?
My oldest son is phenomenal at violin. Like and piano.
Like
He's
almost Asian levels.
yeah. Like if my wife and I were Asian, and he could still be white, but if we were both Asian, he would be Asian level of playing. We just like we could probably push him a lot harder, but he's very, very talented at both of those, which is great. My other kids are also very good at those things, but they're a lot younger, so it's like you're waiting to see like what level they're at. I'm trying not to shit talk my younger kids because they are very, very good at these things.
Oh yeah, it takes a while to figure it out.
But yeah, like he's been playing now. I think he started when he was like 4 or 5 at violin.
Wow.
So he's very, very good. My little girls are great at dance because they make me smile. So
Oh,
But yeah.
you're such a good dad. Gates of Above. She fired Obama's PR team. Lol. Oh, hey Nick, I'm a fan.
Hey, what's up, buddy? Yeah, that's the PR team she fired. It was Obama's PR team.
No.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's how bad this trial has actually been. Like that's if you ever need like a 10-minute elevator pitch or 10-second elevator pitch on how the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial is going for someone, say Amber Heard's PR team was Obama's PR team and she fired them because they couldn't even fix the disaster. Like that's how
Wow.
bad the public image is, and that's all you really need to say.
Instead of like the hope image, it's like just it says ho. It's just like her face. What is the best part of covering this trial? What's like the most entertaining part for you personally, and you think as an audience or like as a regular person watching?
Well, for me, the most entertaining thing is always the chat. Like just there when these trials like light up like this one. I mean, I'm having between 20 and 30,000 people watch live, and so the chat is off the it goes crazy, right? Like there's people seeing things and talking about things, and they catch stuff that you don't, and because it's like 8 hours of staring at these people, and so you kind of like you'll zone out or look away or whatever, but the chat is always watching. And so they, that is a big thing for me. I think for the chat, the entertaining parts is really anybody who's physically present on the witness stand. We've had some really great witnesses like Isaac Baruch, who's Johnny Depp's longtime friend and very eccentric painter, definitely from New Jersey. He was great. That's the one where they asked, have you ever heard Johnny Depp call Miss Heard a cunt? And he says, what, to a face? But like that guy's fantastic. The movie, The Entertainment Lawyer, who like put together every deal you've ever heard of, like the guy who decided that Indiana Jones should wear a hat or whatever was there, and like him explaining the entertainment industry was just amazing. It's stuff like that. Those people coming in, and it's the types of testimony you won't get in any other trial than two celebrities duking it out.
Wow. Okay, that's cool. Doug Murray Rackets, please read Unbreaded tonight as the pissed off dad who chaperoned his daughter to the JD trial.
We'll probably work that out. Well, I think I can do that. Remind me. You don't have to super chat me, but remind me on my stream, and we'll nail it.
Brian C says, hey, Chrissy and Nick, I've been enjoying your short clips, but could you add a link to the full video with a timestamp? Keep up the great work.
I will talk to my editors and see if they can do that. The hard thing is, since they're clipping it live, the timestamps are different, because when you have a live stream going, the time is 0 and then it's negative from that point. And so then like finding that timestamp later after YouTube processes it is weird. But I can ask if they can do it, but it's just because of how YouTube works, it gets mechanically to be a little bit difficult.
It's not going to happen, Brian. Okay. Okay. Southeastern Kaiju. Congrats on a good week, Chrissy. Enjoy some pancakes. Is that a pancake or an egg? On me. Hail, Nick. Props to filing cabinet. I will enjoy some eggs.
It looks like pancakes.
Okay. Maybe if they're keto. Seek the light. Did y'all see Target's ridiculous gender-affirming clothes for kids? Binding shirts for girls, tuck pants for boys, boycott now. This is effing insane. Let me bring this up. Yeah, Target. This is, of course, from out.
Ah,
.com.
oh God, what are they
Target
doing?
now sells chest binders and packing underwear thanks to Tomboy X. I mean, they already like shit like this already exists. It's called like just sports bras.
But I
Maybe
mean,
there's
that is just
special pockets in here.
that is just like, first of all, that is that's an ad picture at Target. Oh God, bleach my eyes and shove ice picks into their sad remains afterwards. Fuck.
Wait, I'm
Like,
gonna bring
why
it back.
can't? Why? Oh, damn.
It's bad.
Why-
Look
why-
at me.
Why can't we just go back to the days where pretty people were in ads? Was it so bad? Like, I know that like a fat person might look and be like, well, that's not me. But do you honestly want to see you up there? Like, doesn't that, like, when you look in the mirror, you're depressed. You think you won't look depressed when you see like a mirror image of you in a Target ad? Like, oh God, there is no hope. Even the model can't be thin like that.
Ugh.
I don't get it.
It's also like, do you think you're not going to sell enough of these? It's going to be like, oh, you're just doing this to virtue signal. You're not going to sell enough, Target, to make this worthwhile to you, and then you're going to have to probably, and you're just saying this so you can say that we sell trans clothes, and you're going to pack it up, and it's all going to end up at a freaking Salvation Army, and there's going to be some confused people be like, all right, I guess it's underwear.
Yeah. Is that God? That's gonna be awful.
To be
Hey,
confusing.
speaking of Target, would you buy a Target branded dildo?
I don't own any dildos. Actually, correction, I do own one dildo, but it was given to me as payment for a comedy show. It's an amethyst dildo. I got it for doing a show, obviously in Brooklyn. But I don't use it. It's like a beautiful, it's like a paperweight almost because it's entirely made of
Sure.
amethyst. Yeah, I'm not
it's
not big on dildos.
It's like actual gemstone.
Yeah, it was. I looked it up. The retail was like over $200. So I was like, I'm gonna hang on to this little Betty.
Weird.
But it's very cold.
Well, I only ask because, like Target, this is apparently relatively old news, but I'm in small town Minnesota, and so it took a while to get to me. But they have a sex toy aisle now at Target.
Ugh. I don't want to buy sex toys at a place where I can also buy groceries.
Yeah, and so when you buy like an expensive thing at Target, right? They've always got that wire like lock on them.
Oh,
And so
yeah.
you have to take like your brand new stroker up to the fucking counter and have some 17-year-old undo the thing, right? And they're like, oh, this is going on your cock tonight. That's funny. Like I could not do it. That is weird as shit.
You don't want to sit next to somebody trying to buy an Applebee's gift card and you're there trying to get your dildo unlocked.
Right. You want to go to the sex store where everybody looks like a mutant weirdo who has put everything into their ass. Like, cause that's who you want to buy the sex toy from, in my personal opinion. Like that's where you go. You don't go to Target. Like, that's too weird.
Well, Nick, here's your attractive person modeling. This is how you know this person just clearly works with the brand. Like, I don't know. This is a shame to like bind this up. Like, okay, you don't have huge boobs, but like stay with it. You're pretty. Like, hang in there.
Yeah.
I should really be a motivational speaker for these people.
Kill your agent.
Hang in there is what I'll say.
Hang in there. That's for those packing shorts.
Same thing
right
with
there.
this girl. I'd be like, you know what? I know you have an Audi and life seems grim right now, but you will find someone who's into your weird belly button.
It won't be able to get into your weird belly button because it's an Audi. Let's just remember that. It will always be protruding. That would be like sad though, right? Like you're otherwise model level of body shape, but you've got an Audi, and they're like, yeah, we just can't. I can't take my eyes off that thing.
We're gonna use you to model the trans clothes. That's how much your belly button freaks us out. Just shave the sides of your head, and we're gonna throw you in some Target clothes.
It looks like a literal balloon knot. Like
it does. I bet it smells like rubber.
Like if you pulled it out and untied it, she'd just and fly away.
Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, like, don't we already have do we need binding tops? Like my sister always thought her boobs were too big. She would buy like minimizer bras. But she also
I
was
think
single
that's
for a while.
I think that should be a crime. Like personally.
Minimizers.
Yeah. No. Let the girls out, ladies. Let them go.
Let him out. Let him out, I think. I agree. Seek the Light. Did y'all? Oh, I already did that one. That was your fault. That's how we got here. Orange Red
Sorry.
Cool after the trial would be perfect. Okay, he's excited. And you can just show Lydia that super chat and say, look, the people demand this. Woo Warwolf 1. Thank you for becoming a new member. This makes me think that there will be future werewolves and that they will have to be numbered.
They're planning on getting banned.
Yeah, that's funny.
I'm setting up my sequels.
Elvanis, thank you for becoming a member. And Pinky Pink for 22 Noke bucks. Are you two kidding? I guess it depends on what.
I've never been unserious in my entire life.
I'm usually kidding. If that answers your question. But if I'm judging you on your eyebrows, I'm not sure actually what to think. You look like someone who would try to cancel me. All right, let's do Eric the Red, the cure to an Audi, tons of hamburgers. Get it on, model lady. Oh my God, that's true. Because if you become fat enough, the Audi it hangs back while the belly continues on.
Yeah, because it has to. It's like that one guy. It's like Spider-Man, right? Like holding onto your spine and your stomach at the same time. Like, no.
That's so funny. That's exactly what's going on. My dad has an Audi. He's the only person I know. And now he actually drives an Audi as well. I wonder if that's funny to him. Okay, Ali Yusuf, if you roll your mouse over the left-hand side of the scrubber on a live stream, the negative time becomes the timestamp within like 10 seconds after the stream ends. I do this when I need to turn off a stream. Wow, very detailed. Okay. Good to know.
Yeah, after the stream ends, but if they're clipping it at hour 3, out of 10 hours, it like I said, I'll ask them if they can do it. I don't know.
Okay.
It's not me doing it. I don't have time.
Days of Clarity. What is your opinion on Gunts?
Well, I think we've seen my position. I'm just saying. That's
what
that
I
is?
Know.
That's a gunt. That's the front of a human being.
Oh God. Didn't you get into some drama recently with Mr. Ethan Ralph? I'm just trying to clarify.
Yeah, I've been in well, let's clear the record here. Ralph got into drama with me. I am the nicest asshole on the planet. And what happened was this. I was on a live stream, my own live stream, and a super chat came in and it said, "Hey, could you explain the cuck article you wrote?" No, I'm just kidding. That was a different one. It said, "Could you will you review the Ralph Shart clip?" And so I was like, "Huh?" And so I pull it up and it was this clip from his live stream where he shifts in his chair, drops some hot beef and says, "Ugh." Right? And look, he has, I believe, the same microphone I do. Okay, so this is important. These are directional microphones. If I go here, the sound is very different than if I'm here. And when you get far enough,
what about mine? What if I talk over here versus over here? What about over here?
Yeah, you're in a Shure. These are both dynamic.
Okay.
These are dynamic mics. So the further out of the cone of the microphone that you get, the less the sound, and it doesn't pick up some ambient noises. But there are circumstances in which it certainly can. And one of them is when you have a monstrous ass rip on stream. And so he farts on stream. I chuckle at it because it's funny. And I make a gross face because it was kind of gross at the same time. But you go, and I said, though, in reality, he's doing a 24-hour live stream. You're going to fart.
It's going to happen.
I fart all the time on live streams. It's not a big deal. You do it. You hope there's nothing in the shorts when you leave. And that's, you just soldier on because that's the live streaming life. That caused the most nuclear fucking reaction I could imagine. Suddenly, like my wife's being called a whore. My kids are being called retarded. All of this stuff from Ralph. And I'm like, dude, I like my professional integrity and ethics have been called into question, saying that I've been a snake from the get-go, and all this because I laughed at a fart. That's it. So
That's it.
He claims he was also mad that I had a guy named PPP, who's one of his detractors, on my show, which is true. I did about a year prior to that incident for an interview. I had PPP on. We talked about some stuff. He asked me some questions about Ethan Ralph. I did not. Ralph disclosed this, so I'm safe in saying it. Ralph had asked me for some advice on a pending legal issue. I did not engage in the discussion with PPP, and I did not disclose that Ralph had talked to me because I thought if I said, yeah, actually, Ralph called me about that issue, so I can't talk about it, that might actually look bad for him. I didn't want to do that. So I just, I kind of rolled through the interview, and Ethan and I had a discussion after that interview, and I thought that everything was fine with it because that's how the discussion kind of went. But apparently that had been burning his ass for a year, and he just kept that to himself and decided that I really actually don't think it had been burning his ass for a year. I think he's really mad about the fart, in all honesty.
I was going to say, maybe that's where the fart came from.
Yeah. It's like all his anger about the PvP show, just waiting there. Yeah. But that's it. I tend not to get involved in stuff like that. What always starts the drama with me is like I laugh at something, or there's another weirdo, just some guy, like I called him a communist because he was being a communist, and we had a debate about it, and he lost his fucking mind and called me super racist, apparently. But most communists were white or Asian, so I don't know what that had to do with anything. But yeah, that's how it goes. People choose to start a beef with me. I'm the most likable, agreeable person there is. But if I disagree with you on a topic, I'll tell you. It's not personal. These are jokes and entertainment. Like, everybody needs to chill the fuck out.
I think you're a delight.
I have a question. This is the first I heard about the fart part. The only thing that I've ever heard about was, I remember, God, a month and a half ago, he was supposed to appear on You Are Here. And then supposedly you were going to, and he felt like it was some kind of an ambush, but I don't even understand what the ambush would have been.
Because I know. I always knew that they always have two guests on that show.
Yeah. So I can speak a little bit to that. So I was on the You Are Here podcast, and someone super chatted about gunts, and I had to explain to them the biological reasons of a gunt. That your stomach and organs are swelling up so much that your body has to create a land bridge, right? Like to your spine, and it has to hold it in, and because
animals can cross on it.
Yeah. So everything's trying to spill out, but it's got to hold it somehow. Otherwise you would burst open. It'd be disgusting and you'd die. So I explained the biological realities. It's a joke. And then he goes off on Twitter, and he like demands that they have him on the show. So Elijah invites him on the show. I was invited onto the show by Sydney Watson to be on at the same time as Ralph. I asked if I could share the show thing. She said, as soon as we confirm with them, you can share it. Up to you. I chose not to share it because I thought it'd be funnier if it was like a surprise to my audience. I don't know what they said to Ralph. I can tell you that there seems to be a communication gap between Elijah and Sydney on the booking. Is the easiest way to say that, because I don't think Elijah knew I was coming to that show until like a day beforehand. But he backed out of doing the show and then found out that I was going to be on there because that's when I announced it. And then he tried to get back on the show, but he had already like gone on a live stream saying that if he was on the show, he didn't know what could happen. Could be violence. You never know, blah, blah, blah. So when he shows up, Blaze executives are like, yeah, no, you can't come in, period. Like you cannot enter the building. And that was that. But what the ambush would be, this is the funny part. The only person who would be suffering through the ambush would be me, because it would be me going on the show for him to have an opportunity to confront me, because I don't have anything to confront Ralph about. I will laugh at him on my own streams. I'll laugh about him wherever, because I think it's so silly that he's so fucking mad about everything. But it's not like I'm going to come in here and expose Ethan Ralph. That would be his chance to tell me off to my fucking face. And okay, like I thought it'd be good television, basically. But he was very, very off put by it. Elijah has made some indications that Ralph should have been aware that was happening. I'm not familiar with the details of why. I haven't seen any of the communications between, their teams or whatever, but that's the story as I know it. But this all still stems from the fart originally being the ignition point.
A fart gate.
So it's basically a dead issue outside of the fart, because it does sound like there's bad communication, obviously, with You Are Here, and I hope they come back from their hiatus.
Yeah.
I like both of them a lot.
Yeah,
so
I think they're
still beef on Ethan's side, or is it kind of just
from me, like towards me?
Towards you still.
Oh yeah, he hates me. Like completely hates me. And unfortunately for him, the shit he said about, like, I don't care what people say about me, right? Whatever. You could say anything in the world about me, and I'll just, if you want to squash the beef, we could squash the beef. I don't care. But the shit he said about my wife and kids, like, is to a point where I have no desire or need to reconcile with Ethan Ralph, and that's his doing. And if that's the choice that he made, so I will laugh at him eternally, and I'll remind him every time that let's review the situation. Me, laugh at fart. You, call my wife a whore, call my kids retarded, say that I have no professional ethics, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's how that went down. And all of this, just to get back and put this as I can't put too fine of a point on this. That interview that he claimed to be mad about with PPP, I was protecting Ralph's reputation by not disclosing that he consulted a lawyer on his upcoming revenge porn charges. That's because I figured if anybody, like, because how does it sound when it's like, so what do you think about Ralph's revenge porn charges? Well, he consulted me as a lawyer, so I can't talk about that. Sure sounds like I've got a problem. And he was found guilty of the revenge porn charges. So that's all, that's the court has decided on that issue. That's how that goes. But that, like, I was protecting his reputation by not going into it, because that was my ethical obligation to do so. And he was apparently mad about that. Didn't talk to me about it, because I would have said, hey, retard, this is actually, like, this was better for you than me doing the opposite.
Yeah, it seems like he is on edge because people come after him a lot, and maybe he's just, his defenses go up quickly. Like I thought he was going to beef with me because someone had, during Simcast, someone sent me a link. They were like, or maybe somebody said, like, Ethan has a sex tape, and I'm all for, supporting my friends' work. I always try to watch the sex tapes of all my friends, amateur or professional. So I was like, all right, let me check it out. And, I wasn't there to, like, and of course it's like, okay, I was never going to, like, put it up. I was never going to share my screen, and I'm not there to comment on, like, size of genitals. Like, these are not professionals. So I just was like, I made a lighthearted joke about, like, the room being cluttered, and I tried to move it along. Like, I tried to, like, I'm not a porn critic just because I watch it sometimes. I don't know.
I hope he does not have any, like, lasting issues with you, because I saw the joke. I thought it was funny, but I didn't think it was particularly offensive. And but this is just my opinion. This is how Ethan operates. I don't know if it's any one of his myriad addictions that he has admitted to. I don't know what his addictions are, but he is I know he has struggled with pills, and he said he struggled with cocaine. I don't know that he struggled with either of those things, but he was taking pills, taking cocaine, and he drinks a copious amount of alcohol. I don't know if that's his problem. I don't know if it's stress in his life. Whatever it is, man needs to fucking detox from what the problem shit is and get his life in order before he's going to go around burning bridges of every single person he's ever talked to in his life. It's a bad way to live.
We chatted a little. I think we're cool. But maybe if he needs to relax, I'll give him my amethyst dildo.
To the side, right? Not inside.
Against, not in.
Thank you.
Yeah, against, not in.
Well, Chris, I think you reached out to Ethan. Hopefully he'll come on and maybe some of these things can be addressed on his end too.
Yes, he said he would come on next. I think it was next Wednesday.
Excellent.
Oh, good.
That'll be a great show.
Tuesday or Wednesday, something like that. All right. Cool. From E Numbers Neo, was watching Tug's live stream earlier and he played some hilarious spoofs about the court case. Check out these songs on YouTuber Gadfly's channel. Objection, hearsay, Johnny Depp's rap, and I didn't punch you, I hit you. That's funny.
Oh, that was such good audio, and the audio of Amber Heard is one of the things that's really been kicking her ass. But when she's sitting there saying, like, yelling at him on a recording, look, I did not punch you, I hit you, you pussy. It's not that I didn't punch you. Like, I was just hitting you. It's like, God, yeah.
That also could be a t-shirt. I didn't punch you, I hit you. That's great.
That's a good t-shirt. Yeah.
Men's right activists, Ethan Flash. F you, Mayor, you shyster comedian. How could you give this shyster lawyer a platform to spread lies about the gun? I made you and I can destroy you. Okay.
I made you.
Uh-oh.
You gotta read it. Now
I know why you're not invited to the real legal CM. Is that me or you?
I don't know.
I still feel like she's trying to cancel me. Anthony Curtis, any word on Ya returning? I don't know. I haven't heard any updates.
Elijah popped on my show yesterday and said, I think he said something to the effect of he's not really allowed to talk about what's going on. So
okay.
We're all in a waiting game to see what's up. Okay. I do want to, I think I real quickly want to dispel something. I am fairly certain it has nothing to do with me and Ethan Ralph. Okay. Like, cause people thought that show had something to do with it or whatever. Cause I think that might've been the last show that they did was the one I was on.
Okay.
But my understanding is that, and I have no idea what issues there are or what's going on, but my understanding is that is probably not the cause of it. So
not like guest related. Okay.
Yeah.
Aviel Oppenheim. Pinky Pink is not happy tonight. No, they're not. He, she, them are not. Joe K. I'm a fixin' to holler. Okay. Go on right ahead. Raise balls or no balls? Or has this been established already? Enjoying the stream already? Of course, always balls. Uh-oh. Pinky Pink is back. My brows are on fleek. I'm dead. Dead, I say. All right. Now I like you a little more.
Get it, Pinky. Get it. We love you. We love you so long as you don't try to cancel us, no matter who you are.
Yeah. Matt,
like, I seriously, like, I say that as a joke, but it's also really fucking serious for me, and I assume for you. It's like, look, what happened to that? Like, we can disagree. I don't care. Like, if you agree with me on everything, you're an insane person, for one. But like,
or your whore wife.
But I like everybody who's not trying to like ruin me. Like, what the hell? Like, why is that the thing? It's like, I don't like you. Now you're fucking done. Your profession is over. Your life is over. No grocery store for you.
So true. And I feel like this doesn't affect other industries. Like, no dentists have ever been canceled. You know
nope.
I mean?
A dentist was canceled.
What?
Yeah, it was actually here in Minnesota. That's why I know about this. A dentist was canceled because he did the big game hunting over in Africa.
And no, he had all that dentist coin to spend on hunting animals.
Yeah, he got
pose of the leopard.
They were picketing outside his office. They were, review bombing his website,
Whoa.
threatening his employees. Like, it was fucking crazy. But yeah, a dentist has been canceled before.
Oh my God. I have a friend who inadvertently, like, he was trying to be funny. He took a picture of 2 kids on a ferry and he just wrote, like, "Oh, do you think they can swim?" Like, because they didn't look like they could swim because they were in like
Whoa,
full
whoa, whoa! You're
Were they
missing out.
black though?
They were
They were Orthodox Jews with the curlies and the yarmulkes.
they didn't look like they were in athletic gear. I could see what he was trying to do. He was trying to be funny. He wasn't trying to be racist. But anyway, people came after him for that.
It's when especially comedians and entertainers have to tiptoe around everything they say, you've killed entertainment. There's nothing left to do. There's nothing left for us to say if you don't let us tell a joke or tell a story without the world ending. I mean, hell, I grew up for half of my childhood in Houston, Texas. So, and we were in the city limits, and we were in between 2 really poor areas, and we were in like a moderately poor area. But half of the stories that I have from growing up are about black kids. Like when the old white officer came on to our bus and pulled over our school bus because 2 of the big black kids were fighting. They were 4th graders, but I mean, to me, I'm this little pipsqueak white kid in seat number 7 on the left side. And this officer's walking by with his nightstick, like smashing the back of every chair, talking about how he's going to haul all our asses to jail. Right? Like this is it. This is just my life experience though. But if I start telling some of these stories because they're contextualized in these predominantly black neighborhoods where I went to school, like, people will take them as racist. It's like, no, this is just what it is. And how do you tell a story when you can't address the reality of a situation?
Where I'm from, a nightstick is just called a penis.
God damn it.
All right, a couple more. I'll let you get out of here. Matt Fields, hey, Nick and Chrissy, if I'm a fixing to holler, how much hollering am I fixing to do? Shyster lawyer.
You're fixing to do just enough hollering.
Ice Mexican, first time donating to you or watching your show, but you look like P-Star Madison Morgan. Oh, thanks. I'm going to look that up, and hopefully she's cute. An orange sea lion. Nick, I see all those Army painter bottles back there. Hobby stream when? The Emperor
Tomorrow.
Protects. Ooh.
Tomorrow, noon o'clock Central, my channel. It will be me and Heel versus Babyface. We'll be painting minis, telling jokes, talking about some just relaxed culture topics, making fun of people. Some good old-fashioned time.
A drink and draw.
Yeah.
Loreddit Silver member. Nick, will you be covering Baked Alaskans court appearance tonight? I feel like it was crazy, but I have no idea what actually happened legally.
Okay, I know that Josh Null or whatever covered it on his channel. I don't know if that's the only recording. I'll certainly talk about how he talked himself into a trial and out of a plea agreement, because that's my understanding, but I haven't listened to it yet. So I'll have to see how long it is, but I'm happy to talk about it. I am going to do a sort of decompression debriefing of the Roe versus Wade debate, and we're gonna watch what happened after I left a little bit, because I think that might be funny.
Okay, cool. And a couple more. Pinky Pink, I will not, and I mean not, cancel anyone because of their opinion. Wow, what a relief. Believe you me, I love difference. No. All right, I believe
that.
You.
The no thing was weird.
Yeah,
man.
it's the no
like
at the end.
Font. It's like a different font, so I wonder what the hell that is.
It's like, I think you're cool. Not.
No, I don't think that's what it is.
Time. Yeah.
Might be just a weird thing on their phone typing it in.
Thank you, Emerald Kitty Cat, for the sticker. That about wraps it up. Thank you, Nick, for coming on. You're so fun to talk to. Always a blast. So easy to BS with. Where can people find you and follow you?
Well, first of all, of course, thank you for having me. You are similarly fun and easy to talk to. You can find me on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter at Rekieta Law. You can find me on, I don't know if I'm Rekieta Law or Nick Rekieta on Instagram, but I am on Instagram. you can find me on the Fediverse. You can find me on Gab and Minds. I don't really check them, so no promises there. But yeah, the main places are YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, all at Rekieta Law. Also on Locals, rekietalaw.locals.com. Also on Rumble and Odyssey. Fucking every alternate platform ever. But Rekieta Law, just everywhere you want to go. If you type in Rekieta Law wherever you are, you'll find me if I'm on there. So that's the main thing. But yeah, come hang out. I do a nightly live stream, 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. Central Time. We drink, we tell jokes, we talk about legal stuff sometimes, but mostly we're just having a good time making fun of people and ourselves.
Oh my God, and you're late for that because I kept you here.
No. I've got 56 minutes. 11 Central Time.
Thank God. All right. Thank you,
No
chat,
worries.
for your comments and questions. Thank you to the members, both male and female, all one of you. Thank you, Nick. Until next time.